Good morning. My name is Agnes Gital for Frontier Opening Bell. Today, Tuesday, the 5th of October, 2021. It was a good day for African exchanges, with most of them closing on a positive. The Nigeria Stock Exchange was up by 0.05 basis point. In Ivory Coast, the BRVM was up by 0.17%. In Egypt, the Egyptian Stock Exchange closed at 0.59%. And in Kenya, the Nairobi Stock Exchange was at 0.38%. In South Africa, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange was up by 0.74%. And on to our East African headlines. Monthly bonds turnover on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, NSE, hit an all-time high of 118 billion shillings in September on the back of a liquid market and demand for infrastructure bonds. International Finance Corporation is set to lend $15 million. This is equivalent to $1.6 billion to GTB Bank for onward lending for SMEs. This loan will provide the bank with necessary liquidity support amidst challenging economic climate. London Stock Exchange listed Network International has completed its acquisition of Nairobi headquartered Africa Payment Service Provider, DPO Group, in a deal valued at $288 million. The deal, first announced at the end of July 2019, will see the regional enabler for digital commerce enter the East African market. And on to Ethiopia. The Ethiopian Parliament confirmed Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed as a Prime Minister for another 5-year term on Monday. This confirmation will cement his power domestically, although there is mounting international concern of his government's handling of the conflict in northern Ethiopia. On to trade now. Kenya and Uganda have expressed interest in establishment of a third point of entry and exit at their shared border to enhance trade. The two countries already have two border points, that is in Malaba and Busia. A third one will obviously extend trade relations between the two countries. Over to West African headlines, and we have news that Segun Ogunsanya, the former Chief Executive of Nigerian Airtel, will take up the role of CEO of Airtel Africa. This promotion follows the retirement of Telcos Africa CEO, Mr. Madaba, who left his post in April. And Mr. Ogunsanya has promised to put fintech and Airtel mobile money as key to his priority. The Airtel has been receiving investment from private equity firms, MasterCard and TPG, to expand its mobile money businesses. So the Royal Exchange Assurance released its interim results for half year, and it's not looking good. This has been contributed to by challenges induced by COVID-19 and also the EndSARS protests that were experienced in Nigeria back in 2020. But the insurance sector across the African region has been bleeding for a while now. A positive story coming from the region is that African-focused private equity firm DPI has raised $900 million. DPI is a Pan-African private equity which is valued at $1.7 billion. And this raise, one of the highest raise in the recent time, will help the company focus on target middle class and also innovative companies. The profit before tax of the banking industry in Ghana shot up by 27% to 4.9 billion cedis in the first 8 months of this year, signaling a recovery in the economic activity in the country. This is according to the Bank of Ghana, and it's higher than what was registered last year of 19.2%. Mining firm Endeavour is setting up ambitious mining targets aimed to discover between 15 million and 20 million ounces of gold from 7 assets in its operations in West Africa. There's been a rebound economic activity in Togo. High yields in agriculture sector and investment in infrastructure means Togo is back in business, with the economy expected to grow by 5.3%. This is according to the Minister of Finance yesterday. There's also been local and international demands for commodities, which has contributed to this positive growth. On to our South African markets. And the leading story is South African President Cyril Ramaphosa addressing the Women Economic Forum yesterday, committed to do more to promote women economic empowerment. Nobody can argue with this. The head of state said that despite success in the country in promoting women's participation in politics and civil society, they have lagged behind in promoting women economic activity. He has called on the private sector and the public sector to put priority in women economic activity. Another story from South Africa, and the government says it will stand in Sastria's insurer as a last resort, providing 3.9 billion rands to help the insurer help with its riot claims. The government is the sole shareholder for Sastria. There's been some good news from South African hotel and tourism industry following the news that the country will be off the dreaded red list from the UK. So there's been some recovery in this sector, and I guess that's positive news from that part of the region. The mining firm Caledonia announced another increased quarterly dividend of 0.14%. The company's policy adopted in 2014 is to maximize shareholders' value. And in Botswana, Sanlam Minerals is extending prospecting license by 2 years. On to North African market, Attijariwafa Bank in Egypt reported a 65% year-on-year increase in net profit after tax for the period ending June 30th, 2021. This is according to the bank's press release. Real estate firm Talat Mustafa Group Holding is considering expansion in Saudi Arabia and Iraq. This is according to the group CEO. There has been a rising demand for quality housing and urbanization, creating an opportunity for this Egyptian real estate. And Morocco's FDI is up by 16.9%. Positive news from Morocco. And BCP Bank recently announced that it had successfully closed the operation to increase the share capital by optional partial conversion into shares. On to Tunisia, and Japan is looking to triple its investment in Tunisia during the 8th Tokyo International Conference on Africa Development, which is due to take place in 2022. The Japanese firms will invest in automobile and health and infrastructure development in this country. And those are the headlines we have for you today from Frontier Opening Bell. My name is Agnes Gitao, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone.